This is a cultural tale of memory, meaning, and modern identity. Have you ever wondered why some people dance before they eat? Why aunties hum while cooking? Why elders touch the ground before sitting? Why children kneel or bow when greeting? Ola never understood why Grandma danced when she cooked. It wasn't just a little shuffle. It was full body movement, hips swaying gently, shoulders rolling to a rhythm only she could hear. Her hands stirred the pot like she was playing a drum. And every now and then, she would hum, soft and low, like a secret only the stew could understand. Ola, 15, born and raised in the city, thought it was all a little much, too dramatic, too ancient, too unnecessary. She'd grown up in a world of microwaves, playlists, and next-day delivery. Her world was sharp, fast, efficient. Dancing before eating felt like buffering in the age of 5G. Why take time to dance while cooking? Grandma, you know you don't have to do that, right? She said one evening, watching her dance with the stew pot. Grandma just smiled and said, "Because the food listens." Ola laughed. "That's not in any recipe book, Grandma." But Grandma didn't laugh. She looked at Ola gently and said, "We don't dance because it's funny. We dance because it's how we remember." Ola didn't understand. She rolled her eyes and went back to her room, music in her ears, scrolling her phone. That weekend, her school announced a project. Share something about your culture, a value, a tradition, a story. Easy, right? Wrong. Ola had no idea what to say. She wore sneakers, ate burgers, and barely understood the Yoruba spoken at home. Was that even culture? Her classmates shared proudly. "My family is from India. We celebrate Diwali." A girl spoke about Friday prayers at the mosque. Someone else talked about visiting Ghana every December, dancing under fireworks and moonlight. Another person said, "We're Irish. We wear green on St. Paddy's Day." And then it was Ola's turn. She stood up slowly, heart racing. She hesitated. She knew her parents were from Nigeria. She knew she liked jollof rice and Afrobeat. But beyond that, she wasn't sure what to say. "I'm Nigerian," she began softly, "but I grew up here, so I don't know much about it." Some heads nodded. Others just listened. "But one thing I remember is my grandma. She dances when she cooks. Always." A few people smiled. Someone giggled. "She says the food listens, that you must cook with rhythm, with joy." So the food carries more than taste. It carries a story. The class grew quiet. "She doesn't cook like she's following a recipe," Ola added. "She cooks like she's remembering something, someone." Even her teacher tilted her head, listening closely. "She hums when she stirs, sprinkles spices like secrets. She closes her eyes before tasting, like she's praying." Ola paused. "I used to think it was just weird. Now I think it's beautiful." When she sat down, a quiet realization settled in. Later that night, Ola watched Grandma cook, really watched. The careful way she chopped onions, the soft hums under her breath, the dancing, always the dancing. "Why do we kneel when greeting elders?" Ola asked suddenly. Grandma smiled. "Because it shows we remember they came before us." "And why do you clap twice before entering some rooms?" "To say, 'I'm here,' gently, without force." Every answer felt like a puzzle piece sliding into place. Grandma wasn't just cooking. She was passing on memory, culture in motion. That weekend, Grandma handed her the wooden spoon. "Your turn," she said. Ola held it awkwardly. She looked at the pot, then her feet. She shuffled once, then again. And before she knew it, her shoulders were rolling. She was dancing. And Grandma? She clapped, laughed, and said, "Now the food will listen to you too." They cooked together, sang together, stirred the stew with joy. On Sunday, when they served the jollof rice, her little brother said, "This tastes like a party." And Grandma beamed. Weeks passed, and Ola kept asking more. Why do we cook with our hands? Why do we never throw food away? Why do we eat together on mats at family gatherings? The answers didn't come from books. They came from Grandma's smile, from the music in her bones, from the stories in her steps. At school, Ola's teacher invited her to speak again, this time at the Culture Night event. She stepped on stage, wearing a wrapper Grandma tied for her. She took a breath and said, "Culture isn't about how far back you can trace your roots. It's about how deeply you feel them." She told the crowd how she used to rush through meals, and now she slows down, how she used to find her grandma's habits strange, and now she sees them as gold. She ended with, "So if you ever wonder why someone dances when they cook, maybe it's not for fun. Maybe it's for the memory." That night, her story touched hearts. A few parents wiped their eyes. A girl from another school came up and said, "I'm going to ask my grandma the same thing." When Ola got home, she and Grandma danced in the kitchen. This time, not for the project, not for the show, but because it felt right. Because joy was the first ingredient. Because in their family, food wasn't just a meal, it was a memory. And dancing was how they kept that memory alive. We don't always understand the traditions we inherit, but sometimes when we pause, when we listen, when we dance, we find that we're not just learning about the past, we're discovering who we are. If this story made you pause or think, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more cultural stories that stay with you.